Okay, so let's start with the Australian bad boy Nick Kyrgios pulling out of the US Open. Well, as their wait of a return to a Grand Slam continues due to injury. The Australian pulled out of Wimbledon in July due to wrist injury and missed the Australian and the French Open this year through injuries issues. The 28-year-old missed his home Grand Slam with a knee injury before sitting out of the Roland Garros after suffering a foot injury. Germany Jan-Lennard Struff was also announced as having withdrawn from US Open, with the Argentina pair Diego Schwartzman and Facundo Diaz Acosta moving into the main draw. Now let's talk about tournament and results this morning. Top-ranked Iga Swiatek of Poland beats 14th seed Karolina Munkova in the Czech Republic 6-1, 4-6, 6-4 on Thursday night in the National Bank Open in a match interrupted by rain for more than 6 hours. Now with a victory, Swiatek, who also beat Munkova in June in the French Open final, guaranteed shield, well, she will remain number one for 72nd straight week when the new ranking comes out on Monday. The 22-year-old player leads the tour with 49 matches of victory. Now let's talk about Carlos Alcaraz this morning, where the Spaniard rallied to beat 15th seed Hubert Hurkacz of Poland 3-6, 7-6, 7-6 on Thursday night to advance to the quarterfinal of the National Bank Open. Now let's look at other results of games. The Canadian Open this morning. Andy Murray's out as he got walked over by Jannik Sinner. Tommy Paul is through to the next round. Gil Morphins, same as Carlos Alcaraz. But other games scheduled for today. Alex de Minaur will take on Dani Medvedev as Joe Salisbury batters Rajiv Ram and Joe Salisbury will be teaming up in the doubles against Andrei Rublev and Max Purcell. Looking at the WTA category, Corey Goff is through, Alina Rybakina is through, Daniel Collins through. And looking at games for today, Ludmila Samsonova will be up against Arina Sabalenka by 5 o'clock as Petra Kvitova will take on Belinda Bencic. Jessica Pegula battles Corey Goff, and Iga Swiatek will be in action against Daniel Collins. We move on this morning as we look at more updates away from tennis. To the second half of the show this morning. 8 to 7 is the time. Solutions 939 FM is the station. Kickoff Sports Show is the show. My name is Oladapo Kunubi. In case you're just tuning in, it is Kickoff Sports Show on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 939 FM. In case you're tuning to the station for the first time. Now let's start from the local scene this morning and talk about Shooting Star Sports Club of Ibadan that defeated Beyond Limits 2-0 and the 2023 Value Jets Cup tournament right there in Ogun State. Well, remember the Olioli Warlords started like a house on fire and they went on to lift that title. And we also hope that they can continue with this form when the new league season starts. Okay, now let's just move on this morning and look at another update as we go straight talk about women's football this morning. Substitute Salma Paraluelo scored in extra time to lift Spain to a nervy 2-1 victory over the Netherlands today and into the semi-finals of the Women's Cup World Cup for the first time. The 60th ranked La Roja, who had not advanced past the round of 16 in previous two World Cup appearances, will face either Japan or Sweden for a place in the final in Auckland on Tuesday. Let's also let you know that a game is going down 8:30. That should be in the next 20 minutes, where Japan will be up against Sweden. Well, remember Nigeria Super Falcons, Bayana of South Africa, and the Atlas Lionesses of Morocco got bonded out in the round of 16. So quarterfinal starts today as we look at more teams to move to the semi-final. Well, let's also let you know that games will also continue tomorrow at the FIFA Women's World Cup. The quarterfinal games between Australia and France are scheduled for 8 o'clock in the morning, and England to take on Colombia by 11:30. Moving away from that this morning, and let us talk suspension this morning. Well, remember, FIFA was saying that yes, Lauren James out, but Duke Pereiro saying that Lauren James is just going to miss one game. But the organizers of the FIFA Women's World Cup announced yesterday that England's Lauren James will miss the quarterfinal and the potential semi-final of the World Cup after being banned for 2 matches by the World Football Governing Body FIFA. James was sent off after she stood on the back of Nigeria's Michelle Alozie in the England's last 16 victory. The 21-year-old's initial yellow card was upgraded to a red card after a review by VAR, with James the first Lioness to be sent off under Sarina Wiegman. FIFA rules state that players are automatically banned for 1 game, meaning James misses England's quarterfinal against Colombia tomorrow. She will also now miss the semi-final should England get there after FIFA extended the suspension. Okay, so let's just quickly take you down to the FIFA Women's World Cup and what the breakdown looks like for Spain beating Netherlands in under time 2-1 this morning. We'll be waiting for the winner between Japan and Sweden, while the game between Australia and France going down tomorrow. The winner between the two sides will face the winner between England and Colombia. And, well, moving to the semi-final. The winner between Spain or Japan, Sweden will face the winner between Australia, France, and England and Colombia. But let's just let you know how it usually look like in that semi-final. Let's keep our fingers crossed at the end of the day. But now let's just move on from away from the FIFA Women's World Cup. Let's talk club football stories on the show this morning. It is Kickoff Sports Show on Solutions 939 FM. It is the first half of AM Updates.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Go straight to Fluminense. Fluminense is the former Brazil international. Marcelo has been handed a 3-match ban by CONMEBOL after his lunge at Argentinos Junior Luciano Sanchez left the defender with a horrific injury in the Copa Libertadores clash in Buenos Aires last week. The 35-year-old left back was also told to pay a $6,000 fine. The South American Soccer's governing body confirmed that on Thursday. Marcelo was dribbling towards Sanchez when his leading foot went past the ball and caught the Argentine high on the shin with force. The Argentinos player's leg buckled underneath him at a shocking angle, leaving him lying in agony on the pitch. Well, remember that Marcelo was sent off the pitch, but I mean, even the way Marcelo left, he left with tears on his face. I mean, he never knew that could, cause a horrific injury on his opponent. But that was what happened. He has been suspended, but Marcelo did not really, he really showed a sign of concern. Yes, not really showing that he did that intentionally. Now, let's move on. Remember, Marcelo once played in Real Madrid, and let's go straight to La Liga. Let's start with the fixtures.
The Spanish La Liga Week 1 starts the weekend with 2 games. Rayo Vallecano battles Almeria, while Valencia takes on Sevilla. Real Sociedad will be up against Girona, Las Palmas hosts Mallorca, and Athletic Bilbao battles against Real Madrid. On Sunday, Celta Vigo will start their new season with a home game against Osasuna. Villarreal will begin life without Samuel Chukwueze as they host the Real Betis, and defending champions Barcelona will hope to kick off the new league season with an away win when they face Getafe. Monday Night Football in Spain will see Cadiz take on Alaves, and Atletico Madrid fouls out against Granada.
Omo, our eye don't see way for this cash palava. As conductor dey shout,
as you enter, so enter with your change.
market women go dey holla.
I beg, this money don't tell, no fit collect now.
Supermarket people go dey tell you say,
okay, we no get change. I beg, use and take sweet now.
when you come see that better yama roasted fish wey don dey hungry you since nko.
I no carry my wallet come out too.
See life not suppose hard like this o. Na im make all of us for Naija dey pay for everything with Momo. Dial *671# or download the new Momo app. Make you follow enjoy this better life. Momo, better than cash.
Hey, my name is Alex. I've been a content creator for a while now, and I always try to innovate to keep my audience entertained and engaged. When 5G came into Nigeria, I thought it was all noise, like the normal hype, gang, and all that noise. But boy, was I wrong. Because I've hosted virtual concerts, partied with my followers in the metaverse, created skits with creators in other countries without ever having to leave my room. I can shoot a movie without being on set. Hey, now that's a godsend. With all the money I've spent on cabs this year. If there's one thing 5G has done right, I would say it's made it easier for me to do me.
Change the game with MTN 5G. It offers hyper-fast internet speed, seamless buffering, and applications that can only be possible via its quality data capabilities. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today?
93.9 FM. Keep it locked.
Okay, welcome back. Check your time right now. It is 8:18 live from Solutions 939 FM. Check your time right now. It is 8:18. And shout out to Arani Yaya, Adebojo Yusuf watching live on Facebook this morning. Remember, we're live on Facebook, YouTube Solutions 939 FM. Let's go straight to more La Liga stories this morning, where Sevilla goalkeeper Yasin Bono is Real Madrid's #1 choice to fill the void created by Thibaut Courtois' injury. But the club are still looking for other alternatives because of the high price it would cost to sign the Morocco international. Madrid have also sounded out David De Gea and Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, but report has it that Bono is seen as the best fit for manager Carlo Ancelotti. maybe this is now the season of goalkeepers because in Bayern Munich there is also a goalkeeping opportunity in that team as Manu Neuer is still recuperating. Well, let's still look at Couture. Couture suffered a torn ACL in his left knee in training and will undergo surgery in the coming days. Madrid announced on Thursday that Couture will be out for 6 to 7 months. Bono joined Sevilla from Girona in 2019 and has become one of the best goalkeepers in La Liga. The 32-year-old also helped the Andalusian club win the Europa League twice and was key to Morocco's run in the semi-finals of the World Cup in Qatar last year. Okay, now let's go straight and talk about the English Premier League this morning. To start the English Premier League for Vincent Kompany, who once capped Manchester City and is now a manager, but will be bringing a team from Championship Burnley to face champions of England, champions of Europe, Manchester City. But for Coach Vincent Kompany, is excited to face his former side very early in the new Premier League season.
Excited. We play against such a good opponent, a team filled with players and people that I know, of course, but mainly probably the best challenge you could ever ask for. And I want the team to embrace this game, and hopefully the fans can do the same. I'm used to change. I've not had the luxury yet as a manager to have a pre-season without change, but I think it goes with accessing to a different level, the Premier League. And yeah, of course, I have an idea of my team, but at the start of the season, it's always about building cohesion as fast as you can, and without it costing too many results. But we've been through it before, so we know what we have to be cautious about, and what also are the opportunities once you've gone through it.
Okay, maybe not having enough preseason games, but looking at Manchester City, maybe we can also say they had a lot of bad balls in the preseason, and they have a lot of games to play: FIFA Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup. But for Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola, well, he looks optimistic and saying that they want to repeat a victory or a treble this season looks impossible, as it is going to be a heavy task. City won the league, FA Cup and the Champions League last season to become the first English side since Manchester United in 1999 to win those 3 trophies together in the same season. No Premier League club has ever won 4 titles in a row, but Guardiola feels it is unwise to start talking about the title race and the opening weeks of the season.
Yeah, looks like finished yesterday, but we start here again. I start from zero and try to game by game. It's not a good idea in August, September to think about the title all these kind of things. So perform our level day by day, try to play better than the day before, and go for it. We are here, and so we try it. No, I don't think so. It will be possible to do what you have done last season. So it's one in a lifetime. So I said to the players, forget about it. So we climbed the highest mountain last season, what we have done. But the last 2 days we came down to the mountain, and we start from from there, where everyone with the same intention, and will be a lot of difficulties to climb as high as possible on our level, the mountain, and we'll see. Our football, our behaviors, our mentality will dictate how is the season will be.
It is all about the mentality to determine how the season will be. We wish the teams all the best. If there's going to be a shocking, well, let's expect the shockers, but let's go straight look at more fixtures in England.
The English Premier League kicks off this weekend with a Friday night game between champions Manchester City and Burnley at the Turf Moor. Arsenal on Saturday will be at the Emirates Stadium as they take on Taiwo Awoniyi's Nottingham Forest, while West Ham United will battle London rivals Bournemouth. Brighton hosts newly promoted side Luton. Everton will face Fulham. Sheffield United hosts Crystal Palace, and Newcastle United will trade tackles with Aston Villa. On Sunday, Tottenham Hotspur will be the guest of Brentford at Community Stadium in the London Derby, while Chelsea will be at the Stamford Bridge as they lock arms with Liverpool on a Super Sunday. The week 1 of the English Premier League will wrap up with a Monday night football as Manchester United battle Wolves at the Old Trafford.
Okay, so for those of you who have your jerseys, let's go all out. Rep clubs this weekend, starting tonight with Manchester City versus Burnley. But remember, the Premier League Fantasy is on for Solutions 939 FM. Let me give you the code for the Premier League Fantasy. You want to join the fantasy? Let's go. Well, the code is X2NWVA. Take it again. X2 in number 2. N for nose. W for wipe. V for voice. A for announcement, or A for Arsenal. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk transfer stories this morning, because one man has flown out of England to Germany for medicals. Latest updates we're getting this morning says Harry Kane will fly to Germany for a medical today after Bayern Munich agreed a deal worth close to £100 million to sign the England captain from Tottenham. Kane is now just waiting for permission from Tottenham to fly. Tottenham are trying to make last-minute changes to the deal with Bayern. Now, Bayern are willing to pay Tottenham £86 million from upfront for Kane, with the add-ons taking the deal close to £100 million, a record for the club. Kane has 1 year left on his contract, and with no indication he will renew his deal, Spurs felt agreeing the move was the best worst-case scenario. But let's talk about Kylian Mbappe. Remember the same issue with Kylian Mbappe, but it's just a little bit different because there's cordial relationship between Tottenham and Harry Kane, but a different one between Kylian Mbappe and PSG. Well, the French forward has told Paris Saint-Germain he will not leave the club under any circumstances this summer. PSG's position, therefore, has not changed. he will be frozen out and not play until his contract runs out next season. Well, reports understand one point of contention is that Mbappe feels let down by the club's transfer policy. Okay, now let's just quickly look at more update. This morning, West Ham announced the signing of Ajax midfielder Edison Alvarez yesterday, worth £35.4 million. And Harry Maguire has been given a £6 million payoff to leave Manchester United. Imagine. And we're also seeing update that Eden Hazard could be set to follow Lionel Messi to MLS just months after he reportedly turned down a move to Inter Miami. And Liverpool remains in talks with Brighton over a potential deal for Moses Caicedo should a move to Chelsea not materialize. Now let's move to the other side of the show this morning, where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigeria's newspapers. But remember, tomorrow, Saturday Sports Safari, will serve you a lot of hot updates from 1 to 3. My name is Oladapo. Could be do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Rave.
FM. Keep it locked.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
We raise the spotlight on the different headlines of our national dailies.
This government, apart from giving that minimum wage of 30,000, which was a 6% rise.
We bring to you in-depth analysis on the major stories making the rounds.
And the CSOs to INEC account for 400 billion naira spent on general elections.
Interviews with political and government stakeholders.
There was a big push on export. We consume a lot. We need to be an economy that an export engine, and we need to be a product.
Every weekday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Welcome to From the Dailies with Favor, Dapo, Laffy, and Victory. Let's talk about the state of the nation. Your voice matters.
Alright, TGIF, thank God it's Friday, exactly 32 minutes gone past 8, right here on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9. Officially welcome you to the last edition of From the Dailies, where we look at the stories that made the front pages of our Nigerian newspapers. My name is Victory Richard. Good morning to you, Dakbo.
Yeah, good morning, Victory. And we have different headlines this morning. I have the Nation and the Punch newspapers here. It is more of the ECOWAS session yesterday in Abuja. Some saying that President Bola Tinubu is getting too distracted with the whole coup in Niger. Maybe focus on Nigeria, and remember the story that came out yesterday that we should be expecting increase in price of gas. Well, some also suggesting that there might be another increase in
fuel as well,
petrol pump price, and this is just another headache. But let us be hopeful that it is just rumor, and the NNPCL comes out to debunk this. Well, does the NNPCL even have power? No, I don't think they have that power. But let's look at more headlines this morning. You've got what papers?
All right, I'll be taking stories from the Vanguard newspaper and the Nigerian Tribune. Be reminded that we're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939. So do well to jump in on the platform and react to some of the stories we would be beaming the spotlight on this morning. You can also send in message via WhatsApp or regular text to 0904 422-2939. Shortly as well, the phone lines will be open. Fridays are usually our open mic session, so you get to react to any story of interest to you. So you can call us up in 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. Let's get right into the papers. Alright, we kick off with the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Gunmen killed 21 in Plateau communities. LCDA's public hearing sparks row in Ondo State. Find that story on page 5. Nominations open for 2023 Obafemi Awolowo's Leadership Prize. Read up on that story on page 5. And now to the biggest story in the Nigerian Tribune. ECOWAS orders activation of standby force against Niger. Writers to that says option for peaceful resolution still on the table. Decision on Niger, not Nigeria affair. Tinubu affirms support for peaceful return to democratic rule. Afenifere wants ECOWAS to adopt diplomacy, not military intervention. How dollar rates ex-depot price will push petrol pump price up. Oil marketers speaking there. Says price may reach 750 naira per litre. Naira tumbles to 955 at parallel market. Find that story on page 7. Why price of cooking gas may surge. Marketers also speaking. Ohaneze describes allocation of 5 ministerial slot to Southeast unjust, demands equity. Controversies rages over alleged Edo deputy governor's plot to defect to APC. We talked about this on Tuesday, so follow-up story in that regard. Oshimole APC not rehabilitation camp. Okay, that's a funny right there. Schweible vows to swim or sink with Obaseki. These are the stories that make the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, now let's go straight to the Nation newspaper this morning, and let me just quickly, jump on that headline coming from your side about the Edo State, political crisis. Oshiomole to Shuaibu, APC not haven for failed politicians. Southeast governors to battle insecurity collectively. Okay. Carboid, ripening fruits, dangerous. NAFDAC warns. And people, when they want to make fruits quickly, get ripe, they just put everything together. And, Okay, well, now, 21 killed in Plateau. Dawn attack by bandits. I'll take it again. 21 killed in Plateau. Dawn attack by bandits. And the red headline coming from the Nation newspaper this morning. Tinubu extol chartered accountant Akintola Williams at 104. Banner headline this morning from the Nation newspaper. ECOWAS puts troops on standby for Niger rep junta. And we're having right as to that headline, all options on the table UN worried over fate of President Bazoum. Remember yesterday, while the ECOWAS was about starting, the coupists set up their own government, meaning they don't care about ECOWAS. But remember, northern governors, northern senators have been appealing to President Bola Tinubu not to go to war with Niger. But looking at this headline, NBS report, agri sector lost 577 billion naira to flooding in 2022. This headline says General Agwai, Jega Uwais, Bugaje, 8 others don't use force on cupists. Right as that headline says, let government balance ECOWAS interest with national interest. Last set of headlines here. Naira closes at 950 naira to dollar in parallel market. Motions on Emefiele for Tuesday. Okay, Victory, you're earning dollars, right? So let's go straight to the next headline.
Amen to that.
Next newspaper.
All right, let's move over to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Nigeria's oil production declines 13.6% to 1.08. Southeast governors, reps, army move against insecurity. Why Naira is depreciating? Find that story on page 20. Job racketeering, reps panel orders arrest of ex-FCC staff. A follow-up story to what happened on Tuesday. 21 killed in fresh attacks on 2 Plateau communities. And now to the biggest story on the Vanguard newspaper. That's on Niger. ECOWAS orders deployment of standby force. Defection. APC NWC to welcome Edo Deputy Governor next week. APC decries escalation of banditry in Zamfara. Tribunal sacks Kanu NMPP rep over certificate forgery. Man City can recreate treble win, says Guardiola. The English Premier League kicks off today.
Yeah.
8 p.m., right?
Yes, and I mean, saying that they cannot recreate. I like the way Pep Guardiola thinks. He likes, hiding, and, he wants the boys to go all out to do the talking on the pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too much of energy. Well, all the best to, I think, Manchester and Burnley playing today.
Manchester City.
Manchester
We
City.
have Manchester City, we have Manchester United.
Fair enough.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
I'm aware.
Do you have any team you're supporting in Premier League?
It has to be
Or
the
should I
winning
give you
team. No, Manchester City. I'm all about winners. I don't have time for losers. If Arsenal decides to turn the table, I switch.
Now I understand. I know you have a little bit interested in Arsenal, but there's no problem. Let's go because your head of program is an Arsenal fan. Okay, so let's go straight to the Punch newspaper this morning and looking at 3 cap headlines here. Kalu lobbies Ganduje for more Southeast ministerial slots. Naira slump. Fuel price may go up, say marketers. Shuabu faults defection claim. Court halts removal. The banner headline this morning from the Punch newspaper says, Niger crisis. ECOWAS troops on standby. Junta threatens to kill Bazoum. And right as this particular headline, Tinubu says ECOWAS open to dialogue. UN-US worry over Bazoum in Junta's captivity. Next rider, concerns rise over looming humanitarian crisis, burden on Nigeria's finances, military. And you can see the pictures on the front page of the Punch newspaper during the ECOWAS leaders meeting in Abuja yesterday. The shoe headlines this morning: flood hits Edo, Adamawa, Ekiti, 17 others. And the sad one here: elevator crash, more dust after Lagos female doctor's tragic death. And the last one: bus crashes into Lagos shops, kills mother, daughter. You can get a copy of the Punch newspaper this morning to read more, and we've also been able to let you know The stories on the front pages of The Nation, Vanguard, and Tribune. Now we go straight to the burning issue this morning, which is still surrounding Africa, that is also connected to Nigeria. Well, this is President Bola Tinubu saying that it is more of protection of democracy in Niger.
We still look to engage the party involved, including the coup leaders, in honest discussion to convince them to relinquish power as suggested and reinstate President Bazoum. It is our duty to exhaust all avenues of engagement to ensure a swift return to constitutional governance in Niger. More specifically, as leaders of our respective nations, we must recognize that the political crisis in Niger not only poses a threat to the stability of the nations, but also has far-reaching implications for the entire West African region. By remaining steadfast in our adherence to the principle of democracy, good governance, and the rule of law, we can restore peace, stability, and prosperity in the Republic of Niger, thereby fostering an environment conducive for growth and development for all.
President Bola Tinubu hosting ECOWAS session yesterday in Abuja, and you know the position of President Bola Tinubu being a chairman of ECOWAS. But now let's look at another flip to this meeting, also the concentration of Nigeria on Niger. Well, Daniel Bwala is a spokesperson for Atiku campaign organization, also a Nigerian legal practitioner. He said that President Bola Tinubu should focus more on developing Nigeria and stop wasting time, stop getting distracted with the Niger crisis.
What is the role of Nigeria's intelligence agency in the whole of this conversation? We have not seen from the president or from a National Assembly or anybody any information from the Nigerian intelligence agency as to the operations of the Nigerians or certain threats around this border. So what the president at the moment is actually confronted with is Nigeria. If only the president realized the enormous tax, the president will not have even accepted the role of ECOWAS chairs in the first place, because that role, understandably, was actually suggested to two presidents, and all of them declined because their countries didn't have the needed funds to finance ECOWAS. So this is the threat that subsidy removal savings is likely going to use to manage ECOWAS at the moment. I think that either the West used this incident to distract the president from focusing on his primary responsibility, which is the security of lives and the welfare of the Nigerian people. In the last 2 weeks, we have not even talked about the fact that workers' salary, workers can't eat, prices of items are going up. We are focusing on Niger, which has no threat absolutely with the territorial border on the lives and security of the Nigerian people.
All right, you've heard the voice of Bola speaking there regarding what is currently happening in Nigeria, and of course the involvement of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the chairman of ECOWAS, is saying that we have more problems in our home. So we should rather concentrate more on dealing with internal problems as much as we want to interfere with external problems. We have our analyst joined with us this morning, Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokbe. It's great to have you join us, Comrade. Good morning to you.
Always a pleasure, my dear brother.
Yeah. Good morning, comrade. So let's go. Well, we heard Bola Ahmed Tinubu speaking yesterday, and after that, you heard Daniel Bwala. Did he sound more political than looking at what is ahead of Africa, and most especially the senior brother, or what do we call ourselves, like brother Nigeria to Niger, bringing peace and not about a PDP APC thing?
Well, you see, the history of this African country, and narrow it down to the West African sub-region, there's a polarization. First and foremost, the first polarization is along Franco and Anglophone countries. our historical experiences are so different. The Francophone countries, they are still a colonized people. Yes, the Anglophone too have their own, challenges regarding neo-colonialism. But the Francophone countries is in a terrible situation. It has been insensitive, and I don't know if the appropriate people are consulted, and I mean the security agencies. The government of Nigeria, President Tinubu, should have known that taking into consideration what is the local situation, you understand? What is the sentiment? And the sentiment is anti-France. And if you bring a Bazoum back, the sentiment you are pursuing is pro-France. That means you are acting not in the interest. How can you say you are defending democracy and the democracy you are talking about is not in the interest of the people? Some have argued that democracy is not for us in Africa. Democracy is not an African thing. That this cut and sew democracy of the Western world, we have to domesticate it to suit us. That we are not Democrats in Africa, but that's a conversation for another day. Look, the president of Nigeria should mind Nigeria's business. I remember Awolowo when he was running for office, he said if he got elected, he would not travel out of Nigeria for the first 4 years, even way back then. Look, I heard you talking about the possibility of rise in gas, cooking gas, the fall of Naira to Naira in the black market, and then the issue of PMS going up. We do not have a cabinet in place yet. Oh, you say they have been screened? Have they taken office? Have they started working? No, they have not been allocated portfolio. This president should face our business. Yes, we are so close to Niger Republic. We should monitor what is happening in the Niger Republic. And we should respect the sentiments and feelings of Nigerians and not start talking about one democracy that is not real. Is democracy real in West Africa? I was looking at them yesterday. I saw Alassane Ouattara, a man who got there, on the sentiments of the people. When Professor Bagbo wanted to retain office, and he now got into office with no sense of history, alter the constitution. He's on the third term now. Is that what I look at them and I say, I look at the guy in Gambia. I look at all of them and they say, are these Democrats themselves insisting that democratic rule be reinstated somewhere? They should go back home and address the issues locally, and they're talking about using of force. Who will bear the brunt of that? Nigeria cannot afford to do another Sierra Leone or Liberian expedition. No. Honestly, I agree with Wala. The president should face what business he has at home.
But let us now look at it from this angle. Maybe these African leaders or West African leaders are looking at a way, to bring peace in Africa. Because if this should continue, that means we have more African countries, having a successful coup. And this may also, degenerate to another phase in Africa. Maybe we can say Africans are enjoying democracy, but some are also saying that Africans are not enjoying democracy, looking at the backings, the support the junta is having in Niger.
What democracy are you talking about in Africa? Zimbabwe, even Kenya. You remember the violence that took place in Kenya before, and even this current situation. Ruto is there, but the man Raila Odinga is insisting that he was not properly elected. The crisis going on there. Look at the whole of West Africa. It's quite ridiculous. This thing they call democracy in Africa, it is quite ridiculous. Are they getting good governance? Even South Africa. I remember one of the old men in South Africa. He was being interviewed and he started laughing. They are becoming, of course, the one man, one vote still counts in a place like that because of institutions. But the corruption. Look, good governance, if you don't get good governance, there will be coup. There will be military coup d'etats. They should not deceive themselves. If they don't deliver good governance, there will be military coup d'etats. And look at this guy in Mali and Burkina Faso. Vibrant guys in the mold of Thomas Sankara Thomas Sankara. What we need is good governance. People should stop talking about is it democracy or civil rule? Good governance. I interviewed an elder statesman, Dr. Yemi Farumbi, and we were talking about accountability and good governance. At a point, the man asked me, "Are you sure that Nigerians want good governance?" I was shocked. Do we want good governance? Do we even know what good governance is? Some people think good governance is my cousin has become commissioner. He should give me contract. I don't care what happens to the rest of the people. A governor in Oyo State one day, God visit us, and at the end of the day, it was a chief detail that told me this story. He said at the end of the day, he said nobody should leave. And when he had given them money, give this 10,000, he said, he asked how much have I distributed today? He said 56 million. And he said, tell them how much do I earn every month? They said maybe 500 or something thousand. And he now asked, where do you think I got the money I distributed there? They were all silent. And he told them, I stole it, Mojini, Moji, you understand? Wow. So rather than fix our hospitals, rather than fix the educational system, rather than fix our infrastructure, they're distributing money to the individuals that will not bet. And what money are they giving to them? Money that they will go and spend, or not to better their lot, but to do consumption. That is just it. We have to shift away from this consumptive democracy that we are doing. It has not benefited us. Look around you now, therefore. Look around you, big riches. Look at potholes on our road. Look at everything. So bad. Look at the hospitals. Look at the educational institutions. There are 600 plus secondary schools in Oyo State. What quality of education are you getting from them? You understand? Good governance. Good governance. That is what we must demand. It doesn't matter whether nobody wants a military government, not anymore, but for God's sake, African leaders should get serious and deliver good governance.
Okay, now let's just move on this morning, because I was about reading out the data of successful and unsuccessful, coup in Africa. But let's just move on. Let's move on this morning and look at headlines. Remember, we're discussing about Edo State politics some days ago.
Yes.
And Senator Oshiomhole, or what do we call it? Okay, it's not a citizen, it's a senator. Senator Oshiomhole is saying that APC is not a safe haven for failed politicians. And that's like a bullet, shot at Shuaibu. But Shuaibu also came out to say that there's no problem, but there's a court case. I don't understand. Which may also look like a second term of the governor right there in Edo State, Godwin. Is it Godwin?
Obaseki.
Yeah, Godwin Obaseki. If we look at what has been happening, how do you think Shuaibu can right the wrongs, stay back in PDP, and maybe get the ticket to run, or move to APC, where with what we are seeing here, there's no peace, because Victory read a headline concerning some set of people planning to welcome Shuaibu next week.
No, he's not being welcomed. Shuaibu not welcomed.
Oh, not welcome.
Yes.
To APC.
Edo APC. That's
so,
Oshiomhole speaking.
If that should be the case, he needs to stay back in PDP, where his governor is right now. But how can he do it to make sure that he stays back and he gets a ticket?
Comrade Abo, Shuaibu is not a member of PDP. His DNA. There are a few people, you understand? Yes, we say that there's no difference between these parties, you understand? It was circumstances that drove Shuaibu, a matter of loyalty. He fought Oshiomhole because Oshiomhole said, you remember Aneni, it was Oshiomhole who fought Aneni to a standstill and put an end to Aneni's, you remember Baba Aneni, the Mr. Fix-It. He was the one that put an end to that man's political career. He said he has put an end to, those who fix and all of that. Godfather. And he himself wanted to become the godfather. That was why Shuaibu stuck with his boss, loyalty. But now, loyalty is over. The man has got to fight for his political future. We did an analogy yesterday or the day before yesterday that the senatorial district where he comes from is not to present the next governor. And unfortunately for him, You know, they do staggered elections in Edo. You understand? He could have gotten the ticket for the Senate. And of course, that would have been a fight even against Oshiomhole. So he's going to put up a fight. He's definitely going to put up a fight. For Oshiomhole to say he's not welcome in APC, Oshiomhole is deceiving himself. He cannot say that. He cannot say that at all. Because he once told us that those who defect to APC, their sins are forgiven. Do you remember?
Yeah, sure.
When he was national chairman. But apparently, he is still smarting. I went and begged him. They met at a public gathering, and Shuaibu, as deputy governor, went and begged Oshiomhole. But you see, the political whipping, the political sticks of cane that were delivered to Oshiomhole's buttock, he cannot forget easily. Oshiomhole is the godfather of Shuaibu. He is the one that has been nurturing him. He's the one that paired him with Obaseki, with the possibility of, of a future governor emerging in him. Believe you me, I see a future governor in him. In the mode of Oshiomhole, even better than Oshiomhole. So he will fight for his political future. Obaseki does not have a structure. Which structure? Does Obaseki have a political structure? Obaseki does not have a political structure anywhere. Because as soon as he finishes his tenure there, Obaseki is not likely to stay on the political scene anymore. He will just disappear back into the banking, financial sector he came from. Do you hear anything of Willie Obiano again in the political sector? Have you heard anything about Willie Obiano? No.
The only time we heard about Willie Obiano, I think, was after he left, and so many issues surrounding him, the FCC case and the likes. But we hear about that. Okay.
Like Obaseki is from the financial sector, he would disappear. It is only Obi that did not disappear because he was moving from one party to the other. But Obaseki is likely to disappear from the political sector. So this gentleman will stand and fight. He will fight for his political future because that is where his future lies. They will sort themselves out.
Let's see how that plays out. Let's come back, Homer. Let's move over to the southeast. The Apex Igbo socio-political organization, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, they've raised eyebrows regarding the presidential nominee list. And according to them, because the Southeast has 5 states, it is unfair and unjust to have 5 ministerial nominees in that regard when other regions are having 9 or 8 lists. How would you go by their stance saying it's unfair to do that?
Vic, honestly, not that I just agree, I say something that unless man of Southeast extraction is elected president of Nigeria, the civil war has not ended. It is that serious for me. We have to assuage the pains and all of it of the past. But you see, there is a challenge. In the Southeast, they are playing it individually. They are not playing it collectively. Look at the way Yorubas turned around to support Bola Tinubu, you understand? In spite of the fact that he is the one that foisted 8 years of Buhari on us. He should be ordinarily, electorally, Tinubu ought to be punished for that. But look at the way Southwest turned around to support him. He is one of us. Not minding the pain he foisted on us for 8 years in Buhari. But the Southeast does not play national politics as it were. You understand? They do not speak with one voice. They do not support one of them. They will be pulling this way. So that's a problem. They have to learn. And let me tell you, power, they say, is not served a la carte. Not that they would sit down here and will say it is our turn. When Tinubu was shouting a Milokan, Chebi was fighting all over the place. He didn't sit down in his house and was saying a Milokan. He was shouting all over the country, Milokan, and he was fighting everybody. He didn't sit down in his house. He fought for the Milokan, even when he said the Milokan. So when he go say it is unjust. Yes, it is unjust. Yes, it is unfair. But they're not going to sit down and just be saying it is unjust. They should build alliances. They should build credible alliances. Look at how the support that Bola Tinubu got in the Northwest. That is why Northwest is getting 8 or 9 ministers. You understand? So when it comes, just in case the court say you did not win the election, it will still need that. You understand? It is all political expediency. Southeast is getting the minimum specified by the Constitution, because even if we could give them less, it would have given them less. But it is giving them the minimum required by the Constitution, because they have no electoral value to him. You understand? And let us ask ourselves, in the days of Jonathan, when the Igbos had the key offices, the office of the secretary to the government, the office of the not just a minister of finance, the coordinated minister in Okonjo-Iweala, and so many others. What did they do for Igbo nation? What did they do to advance Igbo nation? What did they do? East-West Road, did they ensure it was completed? No. What did they do? The Niger Bridge, did they ensure it was done? No. So these guys should play national politics. Southwest did the same too. Southwest for a long time was doing opposition until Southwest was brought into what they call mainstream when Obasanjo was re-elected. So they should learn the art of politicking from the Northerners. The Northerners are the masters of the game. Everybody else should learn from them.
Fair enough. That's a fair disposition. Finally, we spoke about this on Tuesday regarding job racketeering. Reps finally orders the arrest of the ex-FCC staff who was collecting money for job and sending the money in cash to his boss. And this is because he has refused to appear twice as requested by the panel to answer questions bordering the allegation. And it makes me wonder, when someone already made a confession, what further investigation is required as opposed to an arrest immediately? What do you think? Is there a power play here?
Well, it is the National Assembly that is conducting the investigation. And the National Assembly has the powers, under the Constitution to subpoena, to summon people to appear. And what they are investigating borders on criminality, you understand? So they can order, the appearance. And if he fails to appear, they can instruct the security agencies to get him apprehended, because it will help in their investigation. The allegation is that the chairman, the woman that was swearing by the Quran that she should be destroyed and everything terrible should happen to her if she collected money. I hope she didn't collect money, because she was swearing by the God. So, for the sake of our children and for our own sake. So, they have to get to the root of that. And because it is scandalous, people are looking for jobs. People that have no jobs, you are collecting money from them. And that means, what are those people going to do in that place? How much salary do civil servants collect that they will pay 1.5 million to get a job? How much is their monthly take-home pay? At level 8. They will start with them at level 8 now. And those who come in with master will start with level 9. How much do they collect? How much do they collect that will pay them? So that means those people too are going there to, to do some. They say even criminals are being, through slots, getting into the police. You understand? So it's just like that. They are going to the system to game the system. So that is a very dangerous process. They must get to the root of that and deal with it effectively. It is necessary. It is very necessary.
Okay, now let's talk about economy as we wrap up this morning. Maybe not even maybe it is not a good way to wrap up the week with Naira slumping. Likely we're getting the update of likely increase in fuel-pump price, same as gas. Are you concerned? What has been your thoughts since you got that story yesterday of increase in gas price, same as fuel pump price?
Comrade Abo, it is not surprising. It is an expected trajectory for these last few months of the year and into the next January, February, March, thereabout. Because the consumption and the demand for oil will increase in this month. And when demand increases, prices will go up. Do not be surprised that if the price of crude oil reaches $100, and if it does, you can just say 1,000 naira for a liter of PMS or thereabout. But of course, it will also mean more money into the coffers of the federal government. You understand?
I don't want to understand that part. More money into the coffers of the federal government, and Nigerians are not enjoying.
What it means is that the exchange rate used to be 430 naira per dollar of our crude oil. Now it will be 800 and something or 700 and something that it is officially in the central bank. So we're getting double of what we used to get in naira form. That is why they have so much money to distribute to the state. You understand? So that is why they will be able to probably double salaries and all of that for those who work with government. But what about the man on the street? What about the man on the street? The price of PMS, of course, you know the issue of gas. I mean, that's been a global challenge. And of course, the byproduct of is a derivative of crude oil. So that's what is happening to PMS, is happening to diesel, will happen to cooking gas. It's as simple and straightforward. They say we should go and sacrifice. I hope they will not eventually sacrifice Nigerians. We saw them getting a token when they are for their break. I don't know which token is being extended to Nigeria.
Let's take his second statement for it.
Let us, although Serap has also come out to say that they will sue Akpabio.
Oh my God!
But he has withdrawn this.
Thank God for organizations like Serap. Thank God.
But Serap is always filing a suit, and we're never seeing,
They won one a few weeks ago, and it is a landmark that government should explain, and they are going to go to court and enforce it. It is on the freedom of information, and that is a landmark judgment by the court. FOI, enforcement of it. They will go back to court. They have support. They have support from some foundations that is financing them. FOI is critical to accountability and good governance. You understand? It is about some money that they spend. Say, explain, tell us. So that is very critical. FOI. It is critical to accountability and good governance. Not that they will say we are looking for it. No. The court said go and provide the information. And of course, they will still go back to court to enforce the provision of that information. It is critical. Don't think that Serap is just a rabble-rouser.
Well, that's good to hear, if anything. Thank you so much, comrade, for being a part of the conversation today. It's always
my pleasure, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, remember to join Ayode Jadishoko every Sunday on Pendulum on this dial.
And we'll be talking about Tinubu's gross misadventure in Niger Republic and Nigeria's foreign policy.
Okay. And that will be by 3 o'clock, right?
Exactly.
On Sunday.
By God's grace.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, Ayode Jadishokwe there, comrade Ayode Jadishokwe. Let me sound the call. Yeah. Okay, now let's just quickly check some comments, tweets this morning, reactions from Nigerians. Remember, the phone lines are also open for you to be part of the conversation.
Absolutely. Do call into the studio 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222-2939. Remember that your voice matters, and we'll love to hear your reactions to some of these stories. You can also send in messages via WhatsApp or regular text to 0904 422-2939. We're streaming live on Facebook, so do all to jump in on the platform as well as Twitter to send in messages and reactions to some of these stories. We've spoken about a couple of national issues this morning, both international as well. We're talking about the current situation in Niger and Nigeria's interference, and talking about the president who happens to be the chairman of ECOWAS. We also talked about the conflict in Edo State between the governor, the APC, as well as the deputy governor. We spoke about job racketeering. We also spoke about the fuel pump price that might possibly increase, gas possibly increasing, as well as the deflation of our economy, talking about Naira depreciating every now and then. And of course, it's happening to the both of us. While some people are at their offices and about going for recess, getting allowances for recess, you and I will face the brunt. You know, the elephants are over there enjoying, and the ants, I don't know, I don't think I am one, but the ants are suffering the consequences of that. And like we did mention, your voice matters, and we'll love to hear all about that just after this commercial. So call us up 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. We'll be back.
93.9 FM. Keep it locked.
Whenever I tell people I'm a full-time master student and a content creator, they go, huh? How are you able to do both all at once? You bewitch? No big juju. Na MTN 5G. Ever since 5G came into my life, I've been on cloud 9. I get to take my classes online in real time and upload my videos before you say Jack Robinson. Even Babe isn't left out. Our long distance is waxing strong.
Hello, babe. Can you hear me? Your video is frozen again.
We don't do that here, because life is a breeze.
Experience the wonders of MTN 5G, hyper-fast internet connection with no buffering, zero lag, and quality data capabilities like never seen before. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today?
Omo, our eye don't see way for this cash palava. As conductor they shout.
As you enter, so enter with your change.
Market women go dey holla.
I beg, this money don't say, I no fit collect now.
Supermarket people go dey tell you say.
Okay, we no get change. I beg, use and take sweet now.
When you come see that better yama roasted fish with all the hungry you since in come.
I no carry my wallet come out too.
See, life not suppose hard like this, so now make all of us for Nigeria they pay for everything with Momo. Dial *671# or download the new Momo app. Make you follow enjoy this better life. Momo, better than cash.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Welcome back. Check the time right now. It is 9:17. Solutions 939 FM from the Dailies and AM update. Now let's check some comments as we await your calls on 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939, 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. Let's check some tweets out this morning. And I think we have a call here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello,
Morning
good morning
to you. What is your name, sir? Yeah.
Yeah, my name is James, calling from Logwero.
Great to have you, James. Let's have your thoughts, please.
Yeah, thank you. With respect to the ECOWAS on the president's intervention in Niger, I would think that ECOWAS has a responsibility to safeguard its territory. And given that Niger has a border with Nigeria and a very porous border for that matter, there is need for Nigeria to also strengthen and fortify its stand on interventions with respect to to the crisis in Niger. But the problem I have essentially is this our obsession with this idea of democracy. I don't know whether democracy is the only good system of government in the world. And we keep deceiving ourselves as if democracy is interchangeably used with good governance. Like where your analyst said, where is good governance in Africa? In the whole of Africa. We keep saying it's democracy, democracy, democracy. Is it the tyranny of the majority in the United States that we call democracy? Or the conceptually flawed definition of democracy given by Abraham Lincoln that does not reflect in our lives, in the way we practice, in the way we deal with our social political issues? I think we should allow nations to define the system of government that will work for them. There were jubilations in Niger when that government was toppled. It essentially means that the people were happy, that their trouble had gone. Well, we're going to see the end of it all. God stay alive. But what I'm saying essentially is that a system of government must derive from the people. Constitutionalism is derived from the people because the word constitution it comes from customs. It has to be derived from the people. But when you say, oh, democracy, where is it? Where is the democracy? So that's one. With respect to the to what the House of Rep is doing with that FCC woman, nothing will come out of it. We've seen all of these things over happen again and again and again and again. So I do not expect any results from that hand. So I close my eyes to whatever the House of Rep is going to do. When money exchanges hands, you're not going to hear anything from it again because it's a huge lot of money that any House of Rep member or who is chairman, who is chairing that committee that is going to investigate, if you give him if you greet his palm, he's going to keep quiet. So that is the way of Nigeria. With respect to the hiking, fuel and the gas, well, it's expected, like your analyst has said. Look, when there is high demand, price will have to increase. It is simple economic thing. But what we're expecting is that the sacrifices the public servants are asking us to make, they also should make it so that at the end of the day, we're not the only one bearing the brunt. It's going to be the brunt is going to be even more stringent than we're experiencing now, especially as we go into the last quarter of this year. But we're expecting that at least something will be done. I mean, drastically. I don't know why the president has not installed his ministers in up to this moment, even after clearing by the Senate. So I do not know why we are still dealing up to this moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. Thank you so much for your contribution. Okay, let's see if we can, get more calls and read more messages. 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. Is it about Mr. President focusing more on the pressing matters in Nigeria, or being distracted by what is happening in Niger, or even playing a big brother role in ECOWAS to help Niger?
Big brother Africa. Well, we're still looking to hear from you this morning. Your voice matters. 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. Also checking out messages that you've sent to us, or read out a couple of these messages. All right, here's a message from Wilson. He says, Igbos don't support criminals, yet they are begging for more ministers and representation from a criminal. Okay, I don't know who you're referring to as a criminal, but let's move on. Another comment here from Tayo says, the same Ohanese demanding for ministers are not talking about the bad roads, bad hospitals, schools, epileptic infrastructure in their region. They're looking for ministers where they can find money. These people are the enemies, not you and I. Okay? That's a comment from Tayo. Another one from Quick says, why do they always marginalize the Igbos? They gave only 5 ministers, whereas the Northwest got 10. Igbos, Ohanese and Igbos need to cry out in this regard. It's not enough to just call the attention of the presidency. All right, let's check out more comments this morning.
Okay, checking a tweet coming this morning, and we look at Kudus Akambi, a lady of Lagos, concerning the ECOWAS, concerning Niger. Thank you, President Tinubu. ECOWAS and Nigerians are with you. And Alex Baby on Twitter says, good move from ECOWAS after every trial to settle these amicably failed. Then it's time to use force. Okay, and Sunny Idris Adam on Twitter at Idris Sunny Adam 2 says, why can't you tackle the insecurity and hardship we are facing in the country first? People are suffering. Some can't afford even 2 square meal, though that's not your concern. The aftermath of this war will not favor us. God have mercy upon us. And I think I saw something concerning Nigeria should be ready to bring in people who are running away from Niger. Okay. Okay, there's a tweet here from Kenneth Shajar at Kenneth Sharj on Twitter. Says, Nigerians should be ready to accept and accommodate millions of refugees in the struggle we all facing right now. God help us all in Nigeria. Okay, now Alfred Rabo Evelyn on Twitter says, we don't want war. We are hungry. Nigerians say no to war. Okay. Do we have more messages?
Let's look at some messages on Facebook. Suleiman Sharif says, good morning to you. I would implore the ECOWAS and federal government to part the thread of dialogue with Niger military junta to defend democracy, because peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Okay, that's a message from Sharif. Thank you for that one. Let's look at all the messages sent to us this morning. There's a message here. Says the withdrawal of El-Rufai as minister might just end up being a silver lining for him, though. It all depends on how his relationship with Tinubu pans out, and also depends on how Tinubu's relationship with the North pans out after the unfolding drama with the Niger junta. Okay, another message here. That's a message, by the way, from Kelvin. Another message here from Salsa saying, okay, I'll have to, I'll leave that one out. Okay. Let's look up another message here. This is from Sam, and it says, the military coup in Niger draws attention to Africa's leadership issues. The leaders of the coup have cited security concerns due to the threats by the jihadist group and poor economic growth as a reason for the coup. Similar reasons were given for the military coup in Burkina Faso and Mali. The federal government and Niger should make sure that this end up as a diplomatic dialogue as opposed to forced interventions.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your messages, your contributions this morning. But let's go straight and check what the weatherman is saying for today. It is Friday morning, and let's also let you know what may happen throughout today based on weather forecasts. Okay, what the weatherman is saying this morning is that there's likely going to be showers of rain in the city of Ibadan by 10 o'clock. And, it will be cloudy by 11 o'clock till 1 p.m. And by 2 p.m., we should be expecting thunderstorm in the city of Ibadan. So if you have events around those times that there will be thunderstorm showers in the city of Ibadan, go out with your shower caps, your rubber shoes, your umbrellas, and the likes. So, but it will be more cloudy, but just around 10 and 2 p.m. let's expect wet weather and rain in the city of Ibadan. Well, we have to wrap up the show this morning and make a return next week, Monday. Well, I'll be back by 2 o'clock for the Friday show with something magical. My name is Oladapo Kunubi.
Well, to all football lovers, I hope you're getting ready for the English Premier League
victory.
Yes,
wow,
I'm
like
really
that.
excited about this.
Yes, I mean, I like your spirits now. Very soon we should be expecting you on Kickoff Sports Show or Extra Time.
On your own?
No, I'm just saying. I said maybe.
Okay.
I'm not saying we must.
Okay,
But I
fair
believe
enough.
you can do it. Whatever you set your
Never
heart
said I
at,
can't
you
do
I know you always do it. It's just like when you want to do your fashion gig.
Right.
But I know you can do it. I know.
Well, I wish everyone a wonderful weekend. I mean, take the time to just unwind because I know that there's a lot stressing us mentally as it is, but we're gonna be all right.
Okay,
Everything will
I think I still have a field cylinder.
I actually just did mine a couple, and in fact even increased because I did 3 kg, some 2,000 something, I think 800 thereabout. But I did it on Tuesday. I refilled it on Tuesday, and it was 3,100 naira. So that's increased with 200, 300. So I mean, with time, if things are not nipped to the board, it might just skyrocket, and it's really sad because people are already suffering as it is. And it's sad because we're almost getting used to the current price of
consistent increase.
But we're gonna be fine. We definitely going to.
We'll surely be fine. My name is Oladapo Kunubi once again. Catch you by 2 p.m.
All right, my name is Victor Richard. Have yourself a great weekend.